I signed with EchoFox because I thought we had the strongest roster. But when we first started out doing scrims, like it was messy, and I didn't even think we were gonna make playoffs. As we kept going on and on, we actually improved so much throughout the split. I think I improved a lot. I was pretty bad at the beginning. I had like no competitive experience besides Team Gates. So as it kept going on and on, our goal was to make playoffs. Once we had like our last week of regular season, we thought that we were good enough to actually win playoffs. So now it's just become, let's just win Academy.
Hey man, 5 games is just more practice. Welcome back, League fans, to the Academy Spring Finals. And what a series it has become, with EchoFox Academy bouncing back from an 0-2 start to bring us a Game 5, as it's all or nothing now to earn the title of Academy League Champion.
Yeah, kind of a microcosm of their season, right? Where they're like, oh, we're not that good. Losses, like, I thought we'd be a mid-tier team, and then they start figuring things out. You heard a little bit of a different perspective by OddOrange, who thought they'd be really good, and then they struggled, and then they figured it out. And kind of feels like the same thing here in this this series, where EchoFox had to adjust to the Caitlyn priority. They had to figure out a couple things, but now it feels like they are the ones in command of the series.
And I think momentum-wise, always have to favor the team that's run at least 2 games back, being down 0-2. FlyQuest, their players just getting onto stage now. I think certainly feeling it, like probably felt the series should be well and truly sealed up by now, but still have 1 game to win. They're on blue side. We'll see if just how that impacts the draft. And I think draft should be pretty important, as it has illustrated so far in the series. And, you know, here it is. All the marbles in 1 game.
Last game was another game that seemed like it was going pretty slow, but because they had all those globals on their side, they could make that one well-coordinated, explosive play that kind of got the game completely under their control. And if you're looking at FlyQuest, it's like, who's going to step up now? Because they need a playmaker. They need someone who's not going to They can't play like they're just going to hope that they can grind out dragons the entire game. They need to find their own advantages here. And the question is, you know, who is that going to be? Shrimp, sometimes he plays Kha'Zix and goes 10-4 and drags your team to victory. Is that the kind of performance that they need here? Because I can't imagine they want another slow-paced, farm-it-out game.
Yeah, I mean, is it on Keane? He's a very experienced player, very talented, can play some of these better carries. I mean, is it even just support? Like, does JayJ just need to play a playmaker support instead of something like Morgana, which feels like it's been picked on in a lot of the games? We have a lot of questions. We'll try and get some answers now as we're into the draft for our final game of the 2018 spring season here in Academy. Tahm Kench once again hitting the bench.
And Tahm Kench, I'm surprised to see the priority on this champion banned away every single game. I know it's one of PapaChau's, if not his best champion. It's very strong in the meta, but it doesn't feel like you're losing games because they're gonna live through plays. Like, if you're trying to force out objectives and things like that, Tahm Kench is not like the end of the world. If you're a really aggressive team, I understand wanting to ban Tahm Kench out, but Tahm is not the problem right now, it feels like.
Well, they'll also ban Swain, which they've done every single game. Xayah will once again be banned by EchoFox Academy. And now thinking long and hard about this second pick, I have to feel like the debate is, do you ban Caitlyn or not? The answer should be yes, and it is.
And here we'll get to see the Rise ban, no surprise, by FlyQuest. They want to take that one off the table. And then the question is the Olaf, which has been kind of what's been getting banned out in response. There it is.
Yep.
And where do we go from here? Is it Jhin high priority again for FlyQuest?
Maybe. They have been wanting to pick early ADs, but not this time. They'll pick for Shrimp. They'll take away Sejuani from OddOrange.
Little surprised to see that. It's obviously a champion that OddOrange has been grooving on a little bit here. Want to break him up off of it. He would get it a 3rd time if they were able to pick something else for FlyQuest there, like that champion. Instead, EchoFox, they want the Morgana.
Yeah, gonna steal it away, I suppose. All right, they will take it as their first pick. They got 1 more to make in this rotation as well. OddOrange will take Skarner. Kind of lacking a little front line perhaps in these first few picks. We've seen both teams perform very well given how strong bot lane has been for both sides. I feel like having strong front line is kind of the start of all the good things. There is Ornn, there's Alistar. My goodness! Whoa. 3 tanks again for FlyQuest.
Snap picks there, knowing what they want, don't want any of this stuff banned out, trusting the champ pools of Erry and of Keane this time around, because those were some of the guys that they were picking a little bit early for. Erry have been getting Jhin and Caitlyn all the time. Now they're saying, you know what, we're going to wait for some bans to come in. If they don't take their AD carry here, they're probably not going to pinch that pool, and there you go.
This is my thought. I think now, Fox, though, I like what FlyQuest have done. I think they're very good with this kind of super mega front line, but Fox are just like, all right, well, if you're trying to protect a couple carries, I'm going to take Cog and then ban 2 carries.
I understand what they're thinking here, and especially with the Morgana, it can help negate some of the problems that Kog'Maw can run into when playing into Ornn. He's notoriously a mobile champion. Ornn's engage range is crazy, and so you run into this problem where sometimes Ornn just ults the Kog'Maw from the very beginning of the fight, and it allows them to collapse in time. Like we said, Morgana can potentially offset some of that, but it is a little scary with how much engage FlyQuest have to take on a mobile backline mage.
All right,
AD carry.
Certainly a comfort pick for Lost as well. So we'll see if you can perform on it. As Justana also going to get banned along with Jhin. I like those bans from Fox. I actually like the Kassadin ban as well. Kind of protecting potentially something like Azir. Again, you think 3 tanks, you think big carries, but Azir banned actually by FlyQuest Academy, thinking maybe Fox would snag it in the start of Phase 2.
Well, if they're looking for the Orianna pick and they haven't seen too much else other than the Rise that gets played into it, Azir is another champion that Damonte can play, and it plays decently into Orianna, so I can see why they're banning that one away if they're setting up an Orianna pick here.
Ooh.
But
Interesting, yeah, they'll take away the Orianna. So blocking that from Keane. A lot of mid laners already banned away, and again, if you're trying to protect a mobile carry, Orianna is one of the best mid laners that isn't a straight support to do it.
yeah, I mean, other than Karma,
Yep.
you're basically looking at Orianna, and it does break up FlyQuest strategy. Keane has only played Orianna, and it works well with a bunch of tanks. The resistances that they build naturally, comboing with her shields, and then she can often follow up with engage as well. Taliyah is a surprise.
All right, well, Keane will take a roommate into this one and push to Ezreal for Erry versus what's probably going to be a Cho'Gath here from Allorim, unless he wants to take the Shen again and have more global presence.
The Shen makes some sense with the Kog'Maw, like we're talking about. All this engage, trying to find its way into Kog'Maw. A little bit of extra protection is always appreciated, but they do have beefier, stronger pure tanks left on the board.
Wrong on all counts, it is Sion there in the top lane for Allorim, but you know.
We're wrong about a lot of stuff this game. I mean, I didn't think the Ezreal was going to come in for FlyQuest. If anyone, I thought the Echo Fox worried about that with all their engage, and they want someone mobile. And then as well as the fact that Keane is not really known as a roamer. He's mostly a teamfight standard mage who, you know, goes even in lane and has good contributions in teamfight. Here, he's going to try and get down there and influence the bot lane because Lost has been kind of popping off this series. Feels like the early favorite for MVP most likely in the series, so I can understand why they want a more aggressive strategy about attacking him, but it doesn't feel like it's playing to the player strengths.
No, I mean, we'll see. Maybe this is the thing the change that FlyQuest needed, because other than that pick, really no changes at all for FlyQuest moving into this final game. So we'll see if Taliyah can be the thing that tips the balance here for FlyQuest Academy, or if Echo Fox are going to triumph after a long, hard-fought best-of-5 series. Feels good to reverse sweep, feels real bad to get reverse swept. So a lot on the line here in the final game.
And these guys trying to make a name for themselves. All the eyes are on them. They want as much camera time as they can get.
Well, trying to get practice as they can get on stage.
Yep.
I see you guys. Just trying to make it go along. Well, you know what? It's been a great series so far, so I'm not upset.
Me
Go all the way here in this one.
neither. And I think this will be a lot of pressure on FlyQuest to kind of bounce back and have some mental fortitude. You know, you and I snuck off stage for a second, and they did not look super happy about how the series was going. No surprise.
Yeah, it's tough to look super happy in that situation, but certainly going to have some internal strength to move this one through. And maybe even an early mix-up. No invade. Keane actually pretty far down to this bot side.
Yeah, they are going to look for something. Otherwise, Keane probably would be in a more standard position.
Lost. Ooh, pops the W. Walks towards JayJ. It's all a bait. Erry there gets the poke.
No sack of gold.
Procs, and Keane also looking for a bit of poke damage down. Does get some volleys in onto Lost, but he'll just walk away and should have time to go back as well.
We see on the top side, the tanks and junglers, not as interesting as what was happening down the bot lane there, just kind of roaming in circles, fighting over spires, trying to mildly annoy each other.
Ward did go down, though, to kind of, I think, the total purpose of that little invade. So blue buff has been warded out by FlyQuest Academy. We'll have that vision. Wards are a lot more river-centric there for Fox, who weren't able to quite get down and get deeper vision. So wonder if there's a specific plan, and this is definitely a mix-up. Shrimp, I believe, for the first time this series, is starting on the bot side.
Yeah, that is a big mix-up. I think you're right. That's the first time that happens. And we're talking about the mix-ups, wanting to see it. You said Shrimp was a guy that sometimes goes for him. This could be it. If Skarner is going for faster or longer clears in his jungle, maybe he's going to go around. Looks like they're going for that early invade, knowing that he did not start the blue buff. Steal that one away, and then it keeps you on the bot side still a little bit to potentially look for a gank or something. So I do like to see some variety in the jungle. It's one of the few places that has clear flexibility in the early game. You don't need to be in an obvious laning position. So I like to see them kind of breaking the mold a little bit.
Buff to buff here for Shrimp, going to steal this one away. Doesn't even use the smite, actually saves it, as OddOrange did not come there in time, and he is on his wolf camp now, but Shrimp has already left and done the damage.
Yep, and he's going to go, looks like, finish off that Scuttle Crab as well to make sure he gets a little bit of vision down there for his buddies. His Allorim kind of getting messed up in that trade.
He is extremely low. Not exactly sure what happened, but no, certainly working him over in the early parts of this lane. I feel like Allorim's had kind of the run of this lane generally, even though it's been quite close, but the early trade is clearly not the case.
Yeah, I think it's gone back and forth at different points a little bit depending on the matchup. Neither one getting substantial leads over the other, and it's more about how they perform their frontlining and TP duties later on. But Keane on the move early.
It's a great roam here from Keane. Oh, we just get spotted. Now Allorim knows. Gonna have to get out of the way, but no with the knockup. Great placement, and that's first blood for Keane.
Keane quickly silencing anyone who might have been doubting his ability to roam onto the map. Pre-3 minutes there, starting to move and sets that up.
Extremely strong roam there from Keane. I think no predictably knocked up Allorim as well. As JayJ also going to go in and try and get aggressive. Stuns land in, ignites down as well. PapaChau getting low, forced to flash, lost burns the heal as well.
Pretty clever play there by JayJ. I like the way he played that. I think he headbutt to a creep, gets the double pulverize, and then holds his E until he can see who PapaChau looks like he wants the black shield, or it might have been on cooldown. Hard to know. Came in on that one, but either way, it's able to force out a lot of summoners.
Allorim TP'd back as well, and no waited in the brush. Very sneaky there for the Ornn, who of course can buy with the passive in lane. Shrimp is making his way up there, but not quite in time for another regank, so Allorim will back off and try and get back to safety.
He has to be careful. One of the best ways to punish a top laner. Get that regank on the TP back to lane. Here we get to see it again. He sees him a little bit late as he was already charging his Q, and then the flash doesn't get him far enough away from the AoE of Ornn's E, which is notoriously big. And so he was able to still get the knockup, and then that sets up a very easy pushback by the seismic shove of Keane. So really well played by both of them.
Yep, nicely set up there. Allorim will take a death there as First Blood goes over to the mid lane. Keane already with a tier stacking up as well. So naturally has a push advantage here in the lane. Although OddOrange going to try something with Predator. Keane probably going to have to burn the flash here. Gets stunned. Follow up there from Orianna. Burns the heal. Doesn't burn anything else though. In fact, Shrimp is here in the TP's in to try and turn it back around. No. Flash is forward instantly. Gets the knock up there and onto OddOrange. A flick. Does not land for Taliyah, but the stun is good from Sej. Keane grabs second blood as well.
Really surprising turnaround there by FlyQuest. Looked like it was just going to be an easy way to get a summoner out of a mid laner. And the fact that Shrimp collapsed and that TP advantage instantly punishes them. Now they're going to keep going.
Looking for a flash. They get it. Damonte forced to burn it.
FlyQuest picking up the tempo more than they've done at any other point in this series, realizing that that sit back and control objectives game plan wasn't working for them anymore. Going for a much more proactive early game and already seeing the benefits.
Yeah, 800 gold ahead at 5 minutes in is impressive to say the least, as No has been all over the map on this Ornn. Shrimp will find a control ward as well, so he can continue to play up and aggressively into the Echo Fox jungle for now.
And this does come at a little bit of a cost for No, who when he TPs in here has a mini wave kind of heading towards him, but I think you're more than happy to turn this one around. Not only do you get to save Keane, but you find yourself a kill and force out a ton of summoners. Very close to not working, had to flash himself to get the E knockup. Good sidestep by OddOrange, but just too much CC from all these tanks that FlyQuest loves to play with. And there he goes cracking a smile.
Yeah.
Right back to serious kind of though.
Yeah.
Momentary happiness.
Yeah. Robo Keane does not show that many emotions, but cracking a little smile there is always nice to see, as he's clearly pleased with how this game is starting off.
Yep, and here we see a small invade coming in. Keane joining in again.
Oh, with the ult as well. They're actually just going to flash straight onto him. Locked up again. Seismic Shove is good, and that's going to be a second kill. Shrimp able to get it, and Look at these two running rampant.
I know, but it's exactly what we were saying. Who else is going to step up? You want Keane to do it. You want Shrimp to do it. They've been the two biggest playmakers for FlyQuest all season long. Felt like they were having a little bit of a quiet series, and they instantly bounced back. This is why they are those kind of LCS veterans. They know what it takes to turn around, find a new approach to the series, and win some games.
Well, early game's gone swimmingly here for them. Up now, 1,200 gold so far. 3 kills on the board. King with 2, Shrimp with a 1, and both of them, that Kane's been in all of them. Shrimp, excuse me, was not in the top lane roam, which makes sense. But Keane, I mean, like you said, kind of silencing the doubt on his Taliyah play. It's been a kind of a, I don't want to exactly look like a quintessential Korean champion, but it is something that that region practices a lot. Keane has clearly learnt from compatriots back home.
It's a champion that can do a lot. It's obviously very strong in terms of DPS with its threaded volley spam. It highly rewards intelligent play in terms of roaming around the map, walling off key targets. Well, I always struggle with the wall, trying to get it off to stop Barons and split pushes and protecting turrets and all that stuff. So it's a champion that the more you think about the game, the more it rewards you, which is kind of why you tend to see it very highly prioritized in a lot of regions. And no surprise here, Keane making it work early on. Shoes on the other foot this time around, though, as it does feel like they will get outscaled by that Kog'Maw Orianna if they don't keep the pressure up over the course of this game.
Yeah, and I mean, a quick check in with the lanes. Bot lane's looking okay, although Erry is up just a little. Mid lane obviously down for Keane in CS, but up in gold thanks to his 2 kills and the assist. And Allorim also up about 5 CS, so nothing major. As the pressure continues here, Shrimp already 6. OddOrange is 6 as well, but doesn't really feel safe with all this pressure in his lanes to take the blue buff just yet.
Yeah, smart out of OddOrange there, being patient, waiting until people show back in their lanes. Taliyah had also kind of been hovering to that bot side, and then once they don't show anymore, he's going to go on, actually do this blue buff and set it up for Damonte to come over there and grab. At the same time, Keane, recognizing that they don't want to pressure this anymore, had broken off the top side. He got some deep wards, and now he's also working down the Raptors of OddOrange. So kind of reminiscent to Game 1 when they really put the bully on to OddOrange.
Yeah, you can see Turret actually taking a pretty good chunk of health as well. So Damonte is playing pretty far back in his lane. Shrimp also ready for a gank. No cleanse here. The ult's going to be good. Kane's going to flash in for the flick back. Damonte burns the ulti down. The TP's in, but I think he's going down. Erry able to get enough after Shrimp's red buff proc. Allorim will join in, who pops the ult, but Shrimp blocks it now. Here comes Cole of the Ford God, knocking up both. As JJ's also here. No follow-up under the turret, but still a nice gank there from Shrimp.
And enough tanks now have come in and collapsed on Keane so that they can continue to try to push down the turret, but they're going actually.
Yep, JJ looks for the dive, pops the ulti, flick back there on OddOrange, he's dead. Popped into zombie form as PapaChau's here, ready to try and save the day with a big Morgana ultimate. Does get the first kill onto Keane, flashes past the rest of them as Nose taking turret aggro. PapaChau grabs 2 kills under the turret and binds up JJ.
Barely saving the early game here for Fox Academy. The fact that they deter the dive that came in and protect this turret stops FlyQuest from being able to snowball this game right away. A good way to stem the bleeding, but he was making the best of a bad situation after another play around Keane early on.
Yeah, still down 1,000 gold as we watch this one again.
Just a nice snipe on Damonte to set this up. He still is lacking summoners, and you see just that kind of Q-alt combination. Keane goes to the seismic shove back. Monte's almost able to get out, but a good challenging smite early on means that that is ticking. Erry also goes on to them to do the last little bit of damage, and Allorim gets negated here. Looks like Keane's seismic shove isn't back up to follow up right away, and it feels like, okay, Echo Fox is going to get out, and they're going to lose a turret. They walk forward, trying to bait this a little bit. I guess they knew PapaChau was on the way, and I don't think they expected the Skarner to pop quite this quickly, but you do see PapaChau able to finally get involved here. Finish off Keane, not scared at all, just tanks while Keane just runs away. And then No had taken turret aggro and was having a hard time getting out from under it.
Yep, Shrimp though in the replay does get the Rift Herald for himself.
Is that all 5 Rift Heralds for Echo?
I believe he is 100%. 110% on Rift Heralds.
He loves
there for Shrimp.
Loves Shelly.
Well, it looks like a trade at least here for OddOrange. He's going to take the Drake here. Pretty late for Skarner, to be honest, in a lot of 7-6-minute Drakes there.
He's been under a lot of pressure this game.
That
so
is true.
Kind of understandable with the fact there's 7 kills in 11 minutes.
It's been fun so far. We'll see if the pace keeps up. As the objective trade does eventually finish over. Fired over to Echo Fox.
Damonte with his kind of expected 10-ish CS lead right now. Keane has kind of lost some CS due to his roaming and the playmaking around mid lane, but Damonte doing what an Orianna needs to do, making sure they keep their farm up despite what's happening on the map around them.
Bot lane also farming even and hasn't seen too much attention so far, so have to think for the Kog'Maw side that's so far so good for the first 11.5 minutes of the game. Still a lot to play for though. And curious to see where Shelly is going to be summoned. Mid lane is kind of the obvious choice given that they already got some pressure out. It's not quite in one-shot range, but probably not too far away with a bit of extra turret damage.
And it's a pretty critical part of the map to open up for, and Taliyah, who wants to go around and start influencing some of these other lanes, it's going to be tough if you actually are still just kind of farming it to tier 1.
Tank battles here again. Allorim might be reaching all the way to try and get this one. Call the Forge God out. Allorim goes unstoppable. Does get the knock up there. Tula going to try and find the solo kill. No, does have his flash, but he's going to get burnt down. The damage is good, and Sion grabs a solo kill.
Answering back onto No after having a little bit of a tough time in the early game, right away getting the kills. And once again, the MR focus coming in, and Allorim being able to punish it a little bit with the Sion physical damage.
Yep, next Q is the go as Rifthold has been summoned mid lane. Shockwave finds Keane. Shelly probably enough here with a bit of help to take it down. Smite there for OddOrange. They're going to try and prevent this from going down. Might have enough burn here to get it done. They pulled the aggro away. Shelly gets one more hit in, and that's not enough.
Not quite enough, but did lose the Orianna ult a little bit earlier on, so I think Shrimp and Keane are playing it safe. They don't want to get Flash Skarner ulted underneath the turret, so they're waiting for Skarner to have to go somewhere else on the map, and now you see them coming back to actually finish the turret off. A little safe, but I do appreciate the way that they're approaching it. Don't want to make any mistakes after Fox did punish the previous aggressive.
Yep, first turret over. Solo goal to Keane as well, who has been set up in this early game to carry FlyQuest through. Gonna go back, probably has finished that first major item now that all said and done, and does indeed buy up his Seraphs. Okay, not Seraphs yet. Needs a lot of transform.
Will become a Seraph
One day.
soon enough. And now this is when the pressure starts kind of showing up a little bit more on the Echo Fox bot lane. You mentioned how it's been a lot more mid-centric thus far, which is not the most surprising thing to see, just how Keane and Shrimp like to play. But now that they've already broken the mid-turret, they need to start transferring this pressure elsewhere on the map. And the obvious place to go, of course, is bot lane. And it's one of those things where Taliyah is pretty good into Morgana. She stops some of the things that Morgana's good at, like, oh, you can't CC my target, but there's a wall behind them. So we'll have to see if they're able to find that look.
PapaChau actually burns the ulti early. Ignite down as well. Binding not going to land. JayJ sneaks away after flashing.
Yeah, OddOrange not wanting to go either with that ultimate available for JayJ. He'd break out right away, so hard to really follow up on that once that Morgana binding missed.
Decent trade though. Ult plus Ignite for Flash is probably fine.
Oh yeah.
As Erry is going to take a couple shots here from the Kog'Maw, but both these ADs still working on that first major item. I guess Manamune is done for Erry, so he's charging it up and building towards probably Triforce, maybe Iceborne. I think in this comp you should go Triforce.
I think I like it a little bit more too. You will be pelting a lot of tanks, and I can appreciate wanting to slow them down and all that, especially something like a Skarner, but you do need to bring the damage here.
So another cut up here for Keane. Lost does not make it over the wall. Flashes over. Keane almost reads the flash with the seismic shove. JayJ is going to shut down OddOrange, and now maybe the ult can come out as well. Skarner, though, a little bit slowed by Sejuani, but Damonte's here lining up a big shockwave potentially. Root down. Damonte going to get chased on again. Ulti is going to miss the flash out already. Does keep one safe. Damonte gets frozen up. As looks like again, suppression lands in onto Keane. Damage is good. Lost a little too far forward. Keane able to snap him down. Lost will collect the rest of the wave with his passive.
Both teams playing real aggressive here, not shy at all in Game 5. Good play by FlyQuest. Keane almost had the sick prediction on the flash over the wall. Comes up short, and then JayJ gets baited a little bit, looking for the double pulverize, but gets flashed out. Only finds the Skarner, who's then going to kind of lock him down underneath that turret. He drops, and then Damonte wrapping around the side sees that big, juicy Orianna ultimate, but Erry is slippery enough on this Ezreal pick to not get baited into it, and then lost on the immobile Kog'Maw at the same time. Wasn't quite ready for that seismic shove.
Yeah, didn't have his Rage Blade either, so he couldn't contribute really that much to this fight.
There's that sick almost predict. Doesn't quite work out. Erry realized they shouldn't be going, so he focuses down the turret, but JayJ had continued to walk forward, so they're trying their best to get out, and that binding just barely snipes JJ, he's going to go down. Erry is just trying to bait around this, knows that Shockwave's coming after that Q, so even flashes early. And then Keane does a good job kind of chunking out the other people to make sure they can't chase through, and Lost just gets a little greedy after that Skarner ultimate. Could have been happy with just getting the flash heal out of Keane, but just wanted a little too much.
And that's kind of been his story, I think, for a lot of this series. Playing aggressively has worked out mostly for him. Did not in that case, most certainly.
Definitely has been under the gun a little bit to carry, as it feels like FlyQuest is more than willing to play a slow-paced game, and so I can understand the aggressive play style from Lost. Looks real good sometimes. Was punished there, but it wasn't the end of the world. Turret did stay alive. There wasn't any objectives that they lost off the tail end of that, so not too bad, all things considered.
Yeah, looks like Drake might go over to FlyQuest, though. Fox starting to run a little short on wiggle room here in the game. Always one of the worries when you lose your first turret and don't trade is that it's okay because you think you'll get them eventually, but if you never get them, it's super bad times.
Yeah, it's a similar story kind of down the bot lane right now. That dive, while it didn't finish the turret off, you can see on the minimap, pretty blacked out. How it slowly fades until it disappears. So they are slowly losing this game and need to find a way back in.
Yeah, actually forcing it to Drake here, but a little too hard. Unknown's already down here. King with the wall back and ready. Then also join the fight at a moment's notice, and Damonte has a long lane to push back from, and looks like he's got money to spend and wants to take a recall. So I think this dragon will have to be forfeit, although the recall does get cancelled by Damonte. Looks like it's just for waves, as Cloud Drake will go over to FlyQuest Academy.
If they see Keane in the river there, they know that Damonte can get that push off, so he wants to get that before they back off. Also, No had just roamed down, kind of sacrificing top turret to make that play happen. A little surprised to see that.
Good news for Fox Academy if they can complete the take. For the Forge God gonna look, finds no one. But the tower pressure should be enough here. 4 from FlyQuest with Keane able to threaten the ultimate, and that will be tower number 2.
Not a terrible idea by No, just kind of sacking the top turret to get bot turret and hopefully a little bit more. Just barely missed the double knockup on redirecting after the Morgana Black Shield came down kind of early. You do want to wait a little bit when playing against the Ornn, because if you put it on trying to block the first brittle, it doesn't really matter as much. You're only stopping a slow, and then he can just target somebody else.
Yeah, I think PapaChau kind of had similar jitters on Morgana. He actually played it in the LCS, and some moments there where he certainly could have been a little more patient, but it's such a tough line to ride as a support to walk, right? Because it's your job to do this. If you do it early, you know, you're doing your job, but like maybe something bad happens, maybe not. If you do it late, you look super bad. So I can totally understand the reservation, but I mean, that's just one of the skills of playing Morgana.
Yeah, it's a case with a lot of champions too, you know. If you do it too soon, you look silly. If you do it too late, you look silly.
Die.
Yeah, so, you know, Flash is one that people notoriously talk about, like, oh, I should have flashed that ability, but sometimes you still die anyways. It's a tough thing to judge in League of Legends.
Well, see how the rest of the game unfolds as FlyQuest still hold a 2,000 gold lead, but Lost getting stronger. Bilgewater ramping up to Blade of the Ruin King, but he is behind Erry a little here. Ooh, Banshee's burnt by Keane. Ignite, ult down, looking to try and make it happen. Shockwave's good. No follow-up root though, and there's just not enough damage there. Although Shrimp does just kind of throw out the ulti. There's a bit of extra protection.
Very lucky for Keane there that he managed to get the Saris upgrade in time to kind of give himself the extra shield needed to stay alive there. His flash was just still barely on cooldown, so he had to use the heal to get out of there. And is able to stay alive, but very scary there for a situation.
I like the attempt. Now maybe another pick attempt happening here for Echo Fox. OddOrange black shielded up as Skarner can threaten just about anyone with his ultimate.
True, but there is no Orianna ultimate available, so you can see them playing a little bit more reserved here, not wanting to pick a full fight as other people were starting to collapse.
Yeah, you can see again his bindings being thrown. Shrimp is going to eat a little bit here, but gets out over the wall with Arctic Assault. Lost is walking down, so was Erry, and JayJ from the top side of the map. It looks like we're just swapping things over and trying to farm up here. The bot lanes continue to gain their CS.
Yeah, gold lead has stabilized though for the most part, sitting at 2K as it's been for most of the early game, which is, oh, JayJ losing his ult there.
I mean, with ult on, still took a ton of damage from that Kog'Maw.
Yeah, Kog'Maw is no joke with the double procs from Rageblade coming in, working on that Blade of the Ruin King first as well. I like the idea of it because you're playing with a Skarner who's going to isolate a single target, so it's much more important to get the extra damage in versus sometimes people go for the Hurricane second when they expect to have a lot of team fights. So do like the Blade of the Ruin King second. on him. And this game feels like it might be slipping a little bit away from FlyQuest here. Up on the top side of the map, or I guess bottom. Hold on.
Yeah, play being started. Good bind though onto the Sejuani. King gonna keep trying to chase. The wall extends pretty far, but still a gap left right at the top. And PapaChau, Black Shield at the ready, flashes.
Was scared of getting the Black Shield popped off and then having the seismic shove come through. Looked like he would have been fine, a little trigger happy there, as we've seen a little bit of nerve out of him, it feels like. But they are focused on trying to protect this turret.
Yep, looks like they'll be able to do it at least for this wave. In fact, Erry doesn't want to get too ambitious with a Skarner ready with flash ult, and Allorim is getting stuff done here in the bot side.
That's kind of what I was trying to touch on before that brute force happened, where he is kind of dominating No in this matchup, where he's shoved him out of lane a couple of times now, built a massive CS lead, got a solo kill, and now taking turrets when No is not doing what he did last time. Where
lost. Good flash. Instead, it's PapaChau that gets stunned up by the Sejuani. OddOrange now, I think he's going to have to pay the toll. Trying to get out there, actually suppresses one back in with the call to Fortune. It's going to look a great format. Shockwave might let OddOrange live, but it's not enough as Keane will finally slay the beast.
Yeah, but they're all low, and Sion has not teleported.
JayJ, yep, gets picked off by Lost, throws a caustic spittle out just to finish that kill. Still no follow-up just yet. Maybe Allorim with the ulti's ready to go. But everyone a little too low, and I think we'll back away slowly.
Not actually able to get much more than a trade of kills there. Looked so good for FlyQuest for a second, but they got kited out. PapaChau and lost despite getting hit by that call to Forge God. There was no follow-up available. And another fight that does not result in too much. A nice seismic shove by Keane, who's kind of playing his heart out this game, I feel, you know, not just making good map plays, but landing a lot of critical abilities. Basically, is the only reason that allows this play to work. OddOrange maybe missed the flash. I think he wanted to end up on the other side of the wall, down towards red buff, but did not get far enough south on the flash, so he just ends up in the Krugs, goes down. But then JayJ kind of gets poked out by Damonte, like you said, with that big shockwave. So when the teleport completes by the Sion, they're able to trade back.
Yeah, again, back on Allorim. He's got a big CS lead and about 1,500 gold ahead in his 1v1 as well. So certainly shrinking that gold lead pretty significantly.
And it's going to get even worse now that the Banner of Command is completed. We saw, I think, in Game 2 or Game 1, how much Ornn can struggle against that item.
It was Game 1, and it was Allorim on the Ornn side of the matchup, so he certainly knows the pain. As Lost also, judging by the gold count, has spent his gold as well, and is finally hitting that 2-item mark. As you can see, Blade of the Ruined King now finished. So both teams really ramping up as that gold league continues to stay pretty stagnant between the two. 2,000 up still for FlyQuest Academy, but that's been the case for 5 to almost 10 minutes now, it feels like. And like you mentioned before, Mark, it feels like, at least for now, FOXA happy just to kind of farm things out, scale up, and I guess execute from there. This is probably, all things considered, going to be a really close Game 5.
Yeah, this is the crazy part, is we're used to talking about FlyQuest wanting to play slow. They're great objective control, and any other series or any other game, I might have said, this isn't looking that bad for FlyQuest. They're going to transition to Baron control now at 25 minutes. But Echo Fox has looked fantastic recently, and they have the better scaling team comp. So you do see some stuff like this getting started. OddOrange sniffing it out, going to throw it over the wall. And JayJ, not at all tanky, down at half HP.
Yeah, I mean, no flash for the Cog, but could have certainly rode in and finished off a kill if he needed to. Instead, Fox will kind of take that Baron attempt, maybe look for a pick. Shrimp gets out over the wall, though, but the real price is this mid-outer if they can get it. Allorim already in onto No, going to try and get some damage done. Flashes out from under the Morg binding as PapaChau was accurate there with that skill, but unfortunately no pick. That means no turret for now.
You see No heavily prioritizing magic resist, given the team comp that he's up against. Pretty much everyone there is bringing magic damage, but Kog'Maw with that play of the Rune King first itemization is able to chunk out.
Oh, lost us so much damage. Shrimp about to get himself killed. PapaChau picks it up with the Ignite, and now Allorim's going to try and continue to play onto Erry. They did this last game. They might just rush the Baron.
There you see the Smite is down for Shrimp. They still have to be careful. There is a lot of teamfight tools still available for FlyQuest, but I want to see them go aggressive here. You still have the Skarner ult.
Find a pick, maybe. Yeah, Allorim going to keep moving around. Call the Forge Good only finds one. It's just Damonte, and he's fine with that. Going to pull him back with a shockwave. Knockup is going to find in. They need to shred the tank. Suppression with the Skarner sting. They get the kill. OddOrange somehow gets out alive. Echo Fox, they find kill number 2.
They find kill number 2, but with OddOrange getting chunked that low, do they have the tools to be able to Baron? It doesn't look like it. PapaChau also low. Allorim low. They're going to have to back off there, but they do find one more kill. continuing to shrink that gold lead that FlyQuest Academy had, and things continue to look better for them.
Yep, overextensions in some ways by both sides, trying to kind of win more than maybe they needed to, so the map will reset. Kills are nice for Fox. They'll take the gold that they got from them, as that gold lead is now within 1,000 between the two teams. But things are heating up real quick here. Both these teams kind of know what's on the line.
And Lost, I saw him do this right after this play. He loves just hanging this over this wall, finding people trying to clear out wards, being able to tag Baron, Kog'Maw's extended range as well, being able to help find kills. And here we're back with a dive.
Yep, another potential kill here on the top side, but OddOrange is here early. Erry gets chunked down, Lost, dodges the ulti, Black Shield's on. He just needs to live for a little while longer, not so lucky. Flash was not up for like 5 seconds, and now PapaChau, he's gonna die as well. Keane, with a massive play, gets FlyQuest right back in it.
Able to find 2 more kills, elevating himself to 6-1-3, continuing the carry performance in Game 5. Finds the bot lane of Fox Academy at the perfect time, right before Summoners come back up, right after they reset on the map, and now potentially earning his team a Baron.
That flash had to have been less than 5 seconds till it was up, and there's no vision right now. OddOrange, can he be the hero and find a big steal? Call the Forger is going to try and CC him up. They do find OddOrange, the redemption is down. They're going to try and find it and go in, but he can't get it. Shrimp able to find the smite. OddOrange flashes in, only to his death.
So close for OddOrange there. They kind of telegraphed it with the call of the Forge God, letting him know when to come over. And then JayJ also flashed over the wall to try and lock him up. Didn't have as much burst damage as they thought they did, so he did have a chance to steal it, but couldn't quite do it. Now they're coming down to try and punish, but he yells cowards and runs. Does this skin yell cowards?
I don't know, but he choo-choos out of there regardless. And gets the turret out of the deal, so not a bad cross-map play to try and get something back, but FlyQuest will extend that gold lead, take the Baron, and really threaten to open up a big lead for themselves in this game, even stopping by the Clouddrake here to pick up the objective.
Yeah, right as we start talking about how it felt like Fox were finding their way back in this game, they get a little lax off the reset. Keane finds both members, and then suddenly gold leads back up to about 4,000, and you're up against the Baron buff now.
Keane is huge in this game.
Oh,
4 items already done, including a Void Staff. I mean, I'm guessing the last one's going to be a death cap, but Leandro's Taliyah does a massive amount of damage.
And I'm not ready to call this one yet either, because how good Echo Fox's comp is. Yes, if you can find the bot lane isolated without flash, yeah, you can kill them. But if their front line's there, if the Orianna's there to protect them, are you going to be able to kill Lost quite this easily with the double shields from Morgana and Orianna? Here, just Lost, not quite having it, goes down. Here, Keane gonna get smited off.
No, off the wall, gets the press. The pick, she's gonna come through. Keane a little too far forward, gets shut down by Damonte.
Really nice find there by OddOrange. Probably, this might sound like the weirdest claim ever, but maybe one of the best people at hitting people off of Taliyah walls. We saw it in this series against Mickey, did it once or twice there. Smited Taliyah, knocked her off the wall so we get the ultimate pullback. Really clean play out of him, and impressive to see.
Well, still turrets are falling, so Keane's sacrifice is not in vain for FlyQuest Academy. But tier 2 falls down. Still 2 left in mid and top lane. Lost is on full-time duty, clearing out the minions in the mid lane, but at least he's getting farms to watch this again.
So he gets the flash away to get the distance, and then the smite off the wall to then pull him back in. Was pretty clean, and it was pretty important for stalling this game out. Hold on, every time we come out of replays.
It's been an action-packed game so far. Allorim first to burn the ult in response to Call of the Forge God, as Noah is looking to trap him up.
2 champions who don't do very much damage. Oh,
Relic
they
Shield.
just get the execute.
It's OP! Takes down the minion. All right, well, that's dealt with, but like you said, the banner is still a pretty big thorn in the side of FlyQuest.
And the fact that Echo Fox still has gold on a couple of the important carry members, like, yes, Keane being huge is great, but no, doesn't really hold up to loss in an extended team fight. I think Shrimp will fare much the same way, where they're going to get shredded by this 3-item Kog'Maw, and Allorim, for how well he's been playing this game, is able to provide a much better front line while also having a better back line.
Yeah, I feel like we didn't see the first item spike be that good. Hold on, though, was Allorim. No ult, he's going to try and get out of here, but remember, Lost is ready with the damage. Black Shield and Kog'Maw going to try and rip through the rest of the team. Redemption is down. Allorim is going to get saved for a little while longer, but Damonte is left out still. Shrimp, no health left to speak of, barely survives the damage.
Both frontliners walk away at no HP. Allorim, for some reason, has that stopwatch, which is the only reason he's able to walk away alive. But Shrimp does have the Warmogs that is lacking on the side of Fox Academy, so they're able to go back right to pushing. Baron buffs off, though, so pretty easy wave for the bot lane of EchoFox to clear.
And have to assume that, yeah, Black Shield maxing second there for PapaChau. You can see whenever Lost has those cooldowns ready to go, he is a machine ripping through the front line of FlyQuest Academy. Everyone somehow gets away though.
That was very close for having Keane block off the wall from Lost, and then they probably would have won that pretty cleanly, but they are all able to get on the right side of the wall in time to make that a pretty straight-up team fight.
Well, I think at this point, despite, again, the gold lead being good for FlyQuest, just execution around objectives seems to be the big thing. No obvious 1-3-1 lead. Oh, OddOrange actually may be caught. That's a good way to start things off. He's going to get stunned down to that. The Black Shield, not enough. As Keane will get a kill, but JayJ actually going to go down. Didn't have his ulti, it just came back off cooldown.
Did it just come off, or did he just pop that fast? It's hard to know. There was a team fight right before, and now
this is not a good pick for FlyQuest to give away. Gonna flash over the wall for PapaChau. Damonte able to take down the kill. EchoFox find 2 picks in a row. But now PapaChau gonna go down. That was a very unnecessary ult by No, as PapaChau is more than dead after that.
Better safe than sorry. Answer back the kills. PapaChau and OddOrange go down there, and OddOrange really getting picked on this game, sitting at 6-0-7, having a tough time providing a front line for this team. But it's once again a pretty even trade, all things considered. EchoFox hanging on despite being down 5k gold. Feels like an even game.
It certainly does, which is a scary thing to think now that the game is ramping up. There's also an Elder Dragon as the next one, but only 3 Drakes total and all clouds taken as OddOrange. Yeah, just clearing vision with our friends.
Yep, right in front of the front line, and lo and behold, the Ezreal sitting behind them. Yep, JayJ's ult was still on cooldown there, so could not get out of that Morgana binding. Ends up getting popped, and then Shrimp, much the same way, caught out of position. Trying to find an angle onto somebody there, and then PapaChau, instead of running away to the left side, just gets a little greedy, runs right in front of the turret, and gets collapsed on as a result.
Yep, burnt his flash as well on Shrimp, which maybe wasn't necessary. Pays with his life as a result, as both jungle and support from both teams died in that exchange.
These guys struggling a little bit there. Unfortunate, but it's the pressure of the Game 5 situation, and one of the reasons that Academy League is so important for everyone involved is because it gives you an opportunity to show what you got on the big stage.
Well, EchoFox Academy still playing up, still have a pretty big issue in the mid lane here with that turret, as Keane has another problem of his own. It is this banded up minion.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about a 1-3-1, 4-1 not being a big threat, but that banner minion is trouble.
Allorim certainly done well so far. Still 40 CS clear of his lane opponent as well. Sticking pretty much full time to this side lane and just causing such a nuisance for FlyQuest Academy all game long. For 15 seconds, that Baron will be back up and ready to fight for.
And that's where you expect a lot of action to come from, because we've been talking about how great FlyQuest is around this objective. Looks like they're trying to find an angle here. Didn't quite.
Oh, good flash. But actually got knocked up still. Keane gonna chase him down. And this could be risky. If he lives too long, the Baron's gonna die. Allorim just trying to buy time.
Yeah, this is going too quick. You see the fact that Erry decides to not even bother continuing to do this. You have to think Keane's gonna take a similar mindset here, as the Baron will get destroyed by Lost.
Yeah, I mean, Keane's gonna peel off. He doesn't have his ultimate. Lost is just there ready on the Baron. PapaChau maybe caught out of position, but could buy some time. The redemption down, but Erry is gonna get the kill. They take the Baron. Damonte able to secure it for himself. Allorim is still alive here as well, and he has Baroned up minions. No, can't even chase anymore.
Great play by EchoFox, reading the over-prioritization of dealing with Allorim in the side lane, and then the fact that PapaChau died again there, that one looked pretty intentional, just running them into them with his ultimate. They have to kill him or they all get stunned up, and then the time that they spend killing him buys enough time to get the Baron and get out for free, but EchoFox is going to lose something on the tail end of that. FlyQuest instantly returns with the Elder Dragon, so it's going to neutralize some of this pushing time for EchoFox, but we talk about the better scaling for EchoFox. This could lead to a stall-out situation that they are more than happy with.
Another unsung hero there for Damonte, who's now finished his 4th item despite how well Keane has been playing in this game. Damonte has kept his farm up, kept things going, and again, ready with a big shockwave at any time. It's 4-item Orianna to either give that Kog a big shield or win a game deciding team fight this late into the game. Lost is still catching up with his build, but the QSS helps some of his personal safety. And again, even though the gold lead looks good for FlyQuest Academy, EchoFox just ramping up more and more is a scary thing for FlyQuest, who have kind of struggled to crack a lot of this game. Keane with a nice ult though.
Kind of stopped the team from following up.
Not so nice, perhaps. Keane a little too far forward. Shoves Allorim back in, who pops a stone plate. JayJ with a big pulverize, going to try and make it happen. Lost, he's doing what he can, but PapaChau already down. Damonte holding that shockwave, needs to find the angle. No, he actually already burnt it, so now the carries are scattered as Erry gets the next kill onto OddOrange.
Good engage there by FlyQuest after the initial one failed. You saw JayJ seeing the opportunity to pull the trigger, and they still have that Elder Dragon burn on them, and with 2 dragons, that's not insignificant. They're able to win a team fight with that extra bit of combat power, and FOXA, despite having the Baron buff, might be the first team to lose their inhibitor.
Really nice force there from FlyQuest Academy. Of the trading objectives, they find a good fight. They'll take down the inhib in mid. FlyQuest one step closer to finishing off this series.
Doesn't look like they're done yet either. There is a minion wave that have been built up in the bot side of the map they're going to try and meet up with. They have to be careful about overstaying. Only 10 seconds left on OddOrange.
Yep, still Baron Dragon up for a while on them, and they will take down the turret. Just can't really fight right now without the full force of the full 5. Turret inhib, sorry, is going to fall after the turret. 2 inhibs is a big gain there as No just going to defensively ult out. Fox lost so much off the back end of that team fight.
Yeah, that might be the game-deciding play after so much trading back and forth in team fights and objective map play. That is one decisive fight for FlyQuest that nets them double inhibitors. And here you see the first initial attempt, it was a good idea, but kind of that X shape is not something you ever want to draw with a Taliyah and Ornn. And as a result, Keane has to just poke out the front line. It looks fine until this engage finds multiple members, comboed with the Sejuani engage and that extra burn damage. They find one, and it looked like OddOrange might get out, but just so much damage ticking down. You see him get burned out there, and that's 2 kills. No longer many frontline left available, and they can grab the inhibitors.
Yeah, well, Baron's still up for a little while longer. They're going to try and get something here now that the Elder Dragon buff has worn off, but got super minions to worry about in bot lane. They will get one turret here. OddOrange going to threaten, look for a pick onto a carry, but not going to grab it.
Yeah, not too much of a threat there. Keane with his Banshee's Veil still up, as well as Erry having the Quicksilver Sash means that neither of those people are really going to be able to be targeted without it first getting poked off. Not the hardest thing to do for a Kog'Maw, but still an extra barrier of execution for FOXA to find a good fight.
And it still feels like those last bits of gold that they didn't get to have, because FlyQuest was still holding a pretty significant lead, was some of the differences in that fight. Ornn also helping to upgrade the rest of the items on FlyQuest Academy, so they'll get a little bit more mileage out of their gold here in the late game.
And not quite there yet. Only the Locket on Shrimp having been upgraded yet, but it's a good point when we're talking about how FOXA is going to outscale. Well, there is that little bit of extra gold you can throw in should this game reach that 45-ish minute mark for the carries.
Oh, also Elder Dragon 2 to worry about if we make it that far as well.
Oh yeah.
So far, just more sieging here for FlyQuest Academy. Using that power, taking down the tier 2 in top lane. That's the last one of those left.
And this is really tough because the Allorim side lane split push that they thought they had for so long is not available, and this is one of those walls we were talking about earlier about how it rewards intelligent play.
Yep, nice cut-off wall there for the siege. Allorim, though, gets a knock-up in onto Keane, but no follow-up damage available. Not too hard for Kog'Maw to clear this out, though. So Fox will move that wave out.
Yeah, I didn't quite love the timing on that Taliyah wall. If it comes up when these other super minion waves start pushing, you can see their mid and bot wave are not even close into the base yet. They have one more minion wave to chew through, maybe a second one. And that's really when you want to use that Taliyah wall, when they're stuck between trying to clear waves, which means people have broken away from the turret, and then they get zoned from following back up. It was a little early on that play, and you kind of feel like they're stalling out because of it.
OddOrange kind of burnt everything to look for a pick, but doesn't grab it. Righteous Glory plus the Black Shield already used. Oh, Damonte with a really good little ult. Not going to follow up with the shockwave. Now uses it. Forces JayJ's ult out and chunks him quite low. Lost is also busy clearing out this wave, so good time bought here by FOXA.
Yeah, that's actually the perfect time to go and find a way to chunk out a member on the side of FlyQuest Academy. Right when your AD carry is busy dealing with minion waves. Perfectly done there. And FlyQuest getting punished for their over-eager Taliyah wall, as they did not quite have the map in the position that they needed it to be.
Baron up in a minute 20 though, and these inhibs I don't think will be back up by the time that respawns. It'll be close, but
It'll be very close.
We'll have to see. Lots of timings and things to consider as the map is opening up a little too wide for either of these teams' liking, I think.
Both teams very much focused on the 5v5, and it gets very uncomfortable for a team comp like that when the only person who can really deal with minion waves are either your Kog'Maw or Orianna, and you need them to be able to team fight.
Yeah, I mean, Damonte's huge as far as damage goes. Pretty much built, yeah, has built full damage with Leandros as his last item. Lost has a Giant's Belt though, which I assume is for Frozen Mallet.
Yeah,
They don't
you
go
would-
into that anymore. They always forget the
Storm's
recipe.
Fist with pickaxe. Don't do math live on airs with
Yep.
say. Don't do build pass live on
Also
air.
correct.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, but certainly something more defensive for Lost as his final item.
Most likely feels that way. He already has the QSS, but it doesn't feel like he's getting targeted down necessarily at the start of the fights, minus that one that kind of happened in the top lane. Since then, feels like he's been positioning fairly well. And we'll have to see what he chooses to go with. There are very physical damage heavy, so I'm a little surprised not to see more focus there.
Ooh, another attempt here for JayJ onto the front line of Allorim, but everyone else dodges the ulti. Damage coming out. Redemption is going to reset the fight. Keane, very late in this fight, but Lost is forced to flash away. Shockwave only on the one, but a trip with a locket. He's going to get a whole lot of work done. Again, everyone moving into the back as JayJ finally gets shredded down. Echo Fox finally gets through the front line as they look for another one onto No. Keane is playing his heart out to try and get something back, but he can't get it.
Oh, such a hard engage there by FlyQuest Academy. Keane was not on the front side. He was actually flanking around behind and almost found a seismic shove onto Lost, but he saw it coming. He flashed out of the way, and then after that, Keane spent the entire rest of the fight pelting Allorim, so he didn't get that much done with it, and now Fox can force the Baron down.
Still really risky, and Hibs did respawn. They kind of have to commit to this now, though. Allorim gets flashed back. He burns the ult defensively. The tanks don't have health. There's still a huge minion wave in topside. This is tough stuff. For Echo Fox.
Yeah, there's no Warmogs on the side of Echo Fox. So they're not really going to regen up here. But
Allorim has TP though.
He does have TP. He's coming back into front
Yeah,
line.
they're committing for the Baron. They know they have to grab it now, but this could be disastrous if they do not get it or they lose the fight. Allorim gets threatened out. JayJ, a root lands in onto Keane, but the follow-up isn't there. They want to take the Baron. They have to zone Shrimp out. OddOrange, the Baron goes down. Echo Fox able to get it. Keane forced to flash as Lost rips him to shreds.
And with the Baron and Power recall, they're going to get out as No was respawning just about now. So they almost ended up in a terrible situation. Bot lane inhibitor did break down to the super minion that was still left alive in that lane. Top lane turret almost dropped as well.
Oh
Elder
my
Dragon
God.
coming back up. They're going to do the trade
They
again.
change the respawn time, so now it's back up and ready to go. FlyQuest Academy, they're going to get this. Fox can't make it down in time for all the minion waves. Keane even walls them off just to make sure.
It's a pretty even trade at the first time that you do it, when it's only a couple elemental dragon. But now with the buffs that come in with the second Elder burn, there's no way Echo Fox would possibly want to fight these guys with that massive true damage burn. You saw how good of a job Allorim did when frontlining against Keane in that last fight. Not going to happen this time around if he's getting melted down from the true damage. So Echo Fox, despite grabbing the Baron, they lost their bot inhibitor, and a large portion of this Baron will be spent in their base wave clearing most likely, because I don't think they want to venture out and take another fight like this, because it wasn't super clean, but you add some burn on top of here, it's not good. So Keane walls off the escape, but they don't even bother escaping. Keane kind of gets trapped in there, and then he gets a flank onto Lost, who flashes out, and then the rest of this fight focusing down Allorim. And then on the other hand, Lost is able to focus down closest target, and he does a ton of damage. Gets JayJ first, then No gets rooted up. He's going to get followed up on as well. Gets dropped very easily, and then after that, 5v3. Sure, they're low HP, but with that teleport coming back in, they grab it. They all get very low, though, and buys enough time with, like you said, that reduced respawn on Elder Dragon to allow FlyQuest to trade again.
Elder Dragon lasts so much longer the second time you get it as well. Omega Dragon buff here for FlyQuest. They're looking to shove down and at least retake this mid inhib.
And the top turret's so low, and the burn applies to objectives like that. You think that they might be able to grab the top turret pretty easily, too.
I don't know if they can fight, but the wall from Keane again a little mistimed. FlyQuest playing a little skittish here around this inhib.
And definitely struggling to find the perfect wall, but they've done enough groundwork, and Keane has absolutely played his heart out to this point in the game.
Yep.
Despite the walls maybe not being ideal, he's done more than enough to put his team in this position where they're up 6,000 gold, pressuring the enemy team's inhibitors in Game 5 of the finals.
Lost is over here as well. It was a frozen mallet, by the way.
Hey!
So chase down potential is good. Lost trying to deal with this wave, but kites back towards his team near the mid lane. Inhibitor getting low. Do they give it up? I guess they feel like they have to. Can't fight against the Elder Dragon team.
And I'm a little surprised to see FlyQuest not instantly just move up to the top side, hit that turret once or twice. It should be able to be melted down. Instead, they're going to go and try and meet up with that minion wave and just allow the bot and mid-lane waves to pressure on their own.
I guess Fox are thinking, well, we already survived 2 inhibs and an Elder Dragon. We can probably do that again, right?
That wasn't that scary. They never even took any Nexus turret damage as far as I'm aware, so they're probably feeling great. But you see how low this turret is now. A couple auto attacks should finish it off if they feel safe walking up, but it doesn't look like OddOrange wants to give them that chance.
No, he's actually going to look for a big play, but doesn't quite find it. No flash. I couldn't get all the way in, and now FlyQuest have to feel like that's the green light here for this team, but they still have Elder Dragon left for a long time.
Yeah, he kind of pulled the trigger right as the wave was walking up, so they used it kind of as a wave clear mechanic, but like you said, it's down now, and here comes the Keane wall.
Yep, once in again. Lost actually on the wrong side, I guess, depending on how you think about it, but still split that call. The Ford got out, looking for Lost. They'll find him in the back line, but no one can follow up still. The turret is going to go down. Ult from Sej goes up, but it doesn't stun anyone. One inhib left here as Echo Fox, they have to defend their base. They send back Lost, but Allorim's back as well. They're going to lose this inhib.
That's going to be the third inhibitor dropping as they have to respond to minion waves. This time, timing the wall correctly. It blocked them off, forced people to play defensively. Minion wave comes in as well. They have to peel off the inhibitor, allowing them to grab that. And a 900 gold power play by Echo Fox, but it cost you all 3 inhibitors.
Yeah, not really worth it. Still behind pretty significantly in gold, although at this point, that doesn't really matter. Everyone is full build, at least on the carry side of things. There's a couple of items to tidy up as the game goes on and possibly even swap out. But 3 inhibs down for not that long, but long enough to cause a ton of pressure. And FlyQuest still have the Elder Dragon buff.
Yeah, a couple of interesting things. Yeah, first off, Elder Dragon lasts forever. Keane also sold his boots and has used Spooky Ghosts to get his extra little bit of move speed and combine with when he's near walls. He feels like he's fast enough, especially with also the Cloud Drake move speed that now lasts in combat. So wants the extra AP, and he'll still have enough gold to continue to buy his Ornn item, which he hasn't picked up yet. Ezreal has picked up the Triforce version.
Yep, he's got an upgraded
Masterwork
Triforce
or whatever.
Absolutely massive as Fox try and wait out. I think at least the Elder Dragon buff lost, though. It's one little bit of damage and gets massively chunked. I mean, Fox have to fight. They know it. They're just waiting for the right time. Allorim threatening, but can't go too far forward. He gets flicked back. That might be it. We'll see as OddOrange is going to try and get a pick onto a carry. Good or not, he's going to disrupt the front line. OddOrange living for a while. As Lost finally lets it rip, but he doesn't quite have the DPS. No shrimp. Almost goes down, but Lost falls to flash again. Out from under Keane, Taliyah. Shockwave only finds 2, and they're still pretty tanky. Keane ripping again. Volleys into the back line.
No one dies. Everyone's so low on FlyQuest. They grab the inhibitor again, but I don't think they can end.
They're going to try. The wall goes out. They're continuing the pressure. Super Minion still going in. Lost looking for a bit more damage. Needs to find a carry to take down. Going in for it. Looking for no. He's going to force a flush out of the way. Taps Keane. Needs it again. Can't get it again with the artillery. Lost is so close on so many of these kills, but close is not good enough.
Feels like FlyQuest has a collective 2,000 HP on their team right now. All of them so low. Lost couldn't quite find anyone, though. Almost got pushed back in by Keane, was able to flash out. A nice follow-up by Damonte with his ultimate when it felt like FlyQuest was getting a little bloodthirsty. The game stalls out, no kills, but inhibitor dropping again as FlyQuest kind of just start cycling these. They did also drop 1 Nexus turret, though.
Getting closer to trying to end out this game, but this was such a big team fight.
You see, despite how far forward OddOrange is, it actually takes forever for them to kill him, and they're not actually able to do it. Nice seismic shove onto Lost, kind of saves Shrimp's life there. And then that ultimate only hits frontline once again, but as frontliners continue to get chunked out, Keane also takes a ton of damage from the Ori ball, who's kind of getting lost into the Morgana W and all this other stuff. And here we go out of the replay.
Oh, good Black Shield there again. This suppression, but OddOrange is going to get caught once more. He lives through it. Shockwave on a no. They're going to try and keep resetting the fight. That damage was so close to being enough, but JayJ now with the fight tries to find Lost with the Black Shield again. Rings true for PapaChau. Lost just needs to grab a kill. JayJ low as well. I love the attempt from FlyQuest, but somehow Fox survive.
JayJ was in the perfect flank position, hit the headbutt and delayed on the pole because he wanted to make sure he flew towards his team. But then the extra time it took for him to run to Lost allowed Lost to kite out of the pulverize and therefore also out of Keane's W. But with that wall, there's no chance of contesting this, as well as all the map pressure from the minions. So FlyQuest finally get their second Baron buff of the game 30 minutes later.
When are these inhibs respawning though? Because Baron is not that good if you don't have that many supers. Mid is respawning right now. The others, I think, are staggered. This is a tough situation for Fox, but it's not unwinnable. The Elder Dragon in a minute might be the death knell, though.
Yeah, with these closer buffs together spawning, you know, it feels like the Elder Dragon will go over to FlyQuest as well, and that might be the end of the game. That said, if Echo Fox can actually convert these really close team fights into a couple kills, maybe someone can defend the base by themselves and Lost and Damonte and one other can go end the game.
Maybe, but for as close as this game is, it is worth pointing out that Keane does not have an upgrade yet. Could upgrade that death cap with Ornn's passive, but hasn't done it just yet. I mean,
I wonder how much gold he's sitting on.
he's like 2,500 the last time I checked.
Okay.
He has a lot of gold.
Yeah, he can upgrade then.
Certainly can, but yeah, 2,000 there you can see in the bank.
Yeah.
But it's not going to matter right now because I think Echo Fox realized they have to fight for this Elder Dragon.
Yeah, but they have a minion wave crashing in the top side. FlyQuest potentially just TP Ornn up there. Allorim has no teleport to match. Wouldn't mind seeing them go for the macro plays instead of opting into this team fight.
It's a game-losing team fight for Echo Fox if you don't get it. And if you win it, I don't know if you win. So it's extremely risky, but they are going to try and Zerg it down. Look at the health, though. 14,000 health to burn through. Wall, Taliyah, actually Damonte walled off, changing it again with the Black Shield. It's nice, OddOrange though, finally goes down. Lost is trying to kite his heart out, but PapaChau getting too low. Damonte gets the truck down. Lost peppering the carries, but they need more than that. They need another kill.
The minion wave is crashing in the base though. There goes No, he's finally TPing up there.
They have to go in now. The base is actually too open. Fox did not recall soon enough.
Baron buff. It's still applying to the minions in the base.
No's getting it done. Allorim is trying to run out. JayJ with the carries need to make it back in time. They do. The Nexus is exposed, but Damonte is here.
Locked into
Morgana
Damonte.
gets the kill. Takes down Keane. The tanks are too tanky. They can't kill them in time. No goes down, but Shrimp, he might be able to save the game. Oh my God. The game, it barely ends to supers. FlyQuest win a nail-biting Game 5.
FlyQuest are the Academy League champions in one of the craziest Game 5 endings I've seen. Barely pulling it off after what looked like a catastrophe at the Elder Dragon.
Whether they were zoned off and couldn't recall safely, or they simply just remained indecisive for a couple of seconds, whatever it was, that was that game.
If they could have
2 seconds earlier and that game is still going.
Both teams potentially could have found optimizations, but you got to think if the carriers could have got back a second faster, they kill Shrimp and then they can focus down those minions. Just not quite able to do so. And Shrimp going through that line there, huge carry performance to allow his team to even be in this kind of crazy game, because if he didn't have his best early game of probably the entire postseason, they lose that game.
Yeah, Keane and Shrimp kind of starts with them and it will end with them here as well. A 52.5-minute slog as these teams have run a marathon. You can see Rick Fox comforting his players. A tough series loss for sure, but both teams played exceptionally well to finish out the spring season of Academy. And Noah's like, hey, I finally beat him.
Yeah, he looks pretty happy about that. But it was not easy. Echo Fox showing great resilience to come back in Game 3. Looked pretty good in Game 4, forced out a lot of changes in Game 5. You saw that it completely changed the playstyle that Keane had to play in Game 5 to even have a chance. And then it kind of made Echo Fox go the other way as well, where they have the better late game team comp, and it was just back and forth the entire time, because despite the 5,000 gold lead, that game felt close the whole way through.
It certainly did. I mean, we expected Shrimp and Keane to kind of, always be playing together. I mean, that was not the case for the first 4 games, but pretty good time to flip the script in Game 5 when you really need to get your team over the line. And unfortunately for Keane and Shrimp, that wasn't enough to win the game then, but eventually they find their way through it, and the FlyQuest macro in some ways prevails.
Yeah, it was kind of like they opted into the fight thing. If we just kill them, the game's over, and they have been winning a lot of fights, and they were winning that fight until Damonte hit a monster shockwave.
I mean, look good, so let's watch it again.
Yeah, so there you see the wall off blocking the retreat. Lost gets the black shield, so JayJ's can't really combo him, but they're still melting frontline down first. They're going to finish off PapaChau until Damonte hits that ult, and then Lost charges forward. Despite not being able to find 1 or 2 more kills, if he killed No there, they probably win the game. No actually then TPs at that HP value. Starts getting his regen ticking as well, so he heals up enough so that when Lost and Damonte can finally get back, I don't know if they could have got back faster.
I think they could have.
They ran pretty far back to make sure that they did not get interrupted. They might have been able to go for a greedier recall, but the last thing you want to have happen is to not actually be able to get back at all. So it's one of those things, hard to say in the moment what exactly they should have done, but you saw how close that was. If they killed No, they obviously are not going to lose the game there, and then if they got the recall off a little bit faster, probably don't lose the game either.
Well, to hear more on that win from the victorious top laner himself, let's toss it down to Overly, who's standing by for an interview.
Thanks, guys. I am here with No. Congratulations on becoming the Academy Spring Split Champions. I want to ask you, those final minutes of that game, you went in with the teleport, Tell me about those final minutes.
So we ended up losing that fight at Dragon, and then we were just all running, screaming like run, and I was like, oh shit, I'm like 1 HP. And then their whole base was swarming with minions, and we were like TP, and we can just go in, and then I think Juan was going to stop their backs.
Tell me about the excitement. What was going on through those comms? Was it chaotic or were things kind of in control?
I think it was pretty chaotic. We were all just screaming, hit the Nexus.
Now you guys actually came in as rookies this split. Did you expect to win the entire thing?
I thought we were going to place at least top 3 because we have Keane and Shrimp, the veterans, and they're like pretty good at the game.
Pretty good they are, but it did look like Echo Fox was coming back with that reverse sweep, but you guys were able to fight them off. How do you think you pulled it off?
I think team mental just too strong, and we just pulled through.
Team mental too strong. Asking you personally, you did it, you won Academy. What are you planning on doing next?
Go home. Yeah. I miss my family. Can't wait to see you guys.
What about going into the summer? Are you going to stick around with Academy, or do you have your eyes set on bigger things?
I think I'm good with Academy right now. LCS seems very stressful.
All right, well, aim wherever you want. Congratulations again on your victory. And for more, let's hear from the desk.
Thank you very much, Abali.
That's why Golden Glue's
LCS
here as well.
is just so
Yeah,
stressful,
it's
right? You don't
stressful,
want to be there.
Yeah, I'm just relaxing right now.
All right, perfect,
I'm on
perfect.
vacation.
So looking at that, FlyQuest coming out with the victory, as you see here behind us, as their colors shining bright, and kind of fought for, but also faltered in the kind of the same aspect of the entire series.
They definitely have a strong mental game. You know, being down 12,000 gold, 10,000 gold.
And still smiling about situations.
They seem to really keep it together, and so that, you know, it's not that surprising that they end up not getting reverse swept,
Right.
and being able to figure out, you know, kind of what went wrong there. But that game was incredibly long, and I felt like they were in actually a worse position near the end of the game in terms of winning it, because like up against this composition, the Kog'Maw, you're just like, he's gonna scale, we're gonna get outscaled.
They could just hang out.
And then ultimately it ended up almost happening.
Yeah, it was close. It was real close.
As we we'll run the reel here and get into some of the replays as we continue to talk. But looking at what kind of the games turned out to be, Golden Glue.
This is a different guy.
Golden Boy, great friend of mine. Golden Glue, it was kind of the I don't know who's going to win matchup. It was really a toss-up each game.
Yeah, you know, I gotta say, this game, Keane really stepped it up. You know, we said earlier in the past games, Keane was, you know, he was doing his role. He wasn't really generating his own leads, but this game, he generated his own leads, he generated his teammates' leads, and then he played the team fights really well. You know, his walls are some of the biggest reasons that they won this game. And I think the enemy team comp didn't really have anything to deal with his walls. They had 5 champions that all had no dashes. So Keane was kind of having like, you know, his favorite game, best game of his life, just walling people off, and all they could do was flash away from it.
Yeah, it's kind of the ideal situation for a Taliyah, because normally it's like, oh, Tom Kench or somebody's going to eat them over the wall, or a Brahm's going to block it, right? It's like everybody is stuck there. We saw somewhere like the Kog'Maw sits there for like 6 seconds, and they're like, nope, you can't actually go anywhere. So it was really well played from Keane, and the fact that he realized that he wasn't going to win lane against Damonte, because he hasn't won lane against him pretty much, I think, the entire series. He's always a little bit down in CS, for what memory serves, and then was like, okay, I'm going to go win other lanes. So I'll take the 10 CS, 20 CS deficit, and I'll go roam elsewhere, because it's not revolving around the mid as much as we thought it would, because it was one of our featured matchups, was the jungle mid synergy. It's the other lanes that actually needed to step up, and he definitely was able to help them more than Damonte was.
Actually, it's kind of the mid revolving more around what was going on around him. Actually, we saw here 27 minutes in, FlyQuest Academy 2-0 in the top lane, plus Baron after this. But here you see,
this is the one.
Quick.
Kog'Maw gets to stand there.
Keane rallies to the top lane.
It's a very long wall. It stays up a long time. It's like,
I gotta go
it's
somewhere.
a long time. So yeah, the wall is pretty much what does it. They get the turret, they get the Kog'Maw, and the Morgana on top of it. And so those wall placements in the composition were really, really favoring Keane on that one in FlyQuest.
Actually, I was just going to bring that up. You said in Champion Select, this team for Echo Fox cannot counter a Taliyah wall. What's that feel like going into a game knowing each one of your walls basically is just going to pin everybody in?
Yeah, you're like confident. You're like in game. You're telling your teammates like, they don't have anything. They can't do anything to my wall. Oh, I'm so strong right now. And then you're just like, you're basically just, I mean, you kind of sound like an idiot, but it's also funny, and it's like, it's always a good time when, you know, it's a good situation like that for a champion.
Absolutely. Or you just bowl all 5 flashes and you get to do it again later.
Yeah.
So moving on for the replays, 36 minutes in, just a few more as FlyQuest kept racking it up. They get 2 picks and secure the 2 inhibs. Another great wall.
Yeah. Sorry, I was not a fan of that.
No, that's what I meant. You were with it. You gotta had it correct.
Yeah, but it just ends up being this trail off there, and like the Elder Dragon secures were really helping them because they were winning fights at the right time. Like they had that double Elder Dragon for a while, 5-minute duration on it, and then the last Elder Dragon they were very close to getting, and then it just ended up being that fight that went the way of Fox a little bit, but that one is the one that I think is really something that people gotta look back at. Which minion hit the Nexus?
Which minion took down the Nexus? We may never know unless you go back and look.
No, we gotta show that eventually.
And you, we may. We did see the game kind of breaking down there as well, even though Echo Fox at the end got Baron. That was one of the smallest power plays at 9:27 that we saw. So it's kind of like the best of 5 series wears you out. How do you feel game 5 after that, knowing it's actually gone 2-2 in that scenario, and it's anybody's game?
Yeah, I mean, I was exhausted. I'm just watching it. I'm not even playing it. I'm still tired. You know, they definitely showed, both teams showed like resilience. Like Echo Fox got a huge deficit early game, but they were able to keep the game close. And even though FlyQuest's comp wasn't as good late into the game, they still were able to manage to pull out the win and take it really slow, make sure they don't give, you know, Kog'Maw or Orianna the team fight that they're looking for. You know, both teams played this game really slow and just really controlled.
Oof, man, this fight here, like we were saying, this looks like the one where it turns around, right? Damonte gets the dream shockwave there. I think that was 4 or 5 people in it, and then the Kog'Maw just looks like it's gonna let loose. And we got to see which minion is it.
I don't know.
Hold
we
on.
will see though. They pulled this up for you.
Dude, I honestly couldn't tell if it was like a enemy or ally Ornn, because his auto to the turret was doing negative damage. Like you actually came in.
Irene has left the desk.
I know. I'm getting closer to the screens we have. I need to see which one did it.
Follow them.
I thought it was like the one in the bottom right, but it looked like Lost was actually tanking it. The kill went down. They get
I think
Shrimp.
it was a million.
Which one is it? Which one is it? I feel it's that super minion in the bottom right, isn't it?
I don't know. I saw a caster minion from down deep in mid. He took a free throw.
Okay, it might have been multiple ones, but it looked like that super minion was just like, bah, and like got that last
figure out
hit.
what minion had gold, then you might be able to know, because you get gold for the Nexus.
But still,
the world may never know.
Yeah, the minions have this thing where I don't even know how they're supposed to like target acquire in that situation when they're next to it melee range, and then like normally they'll go after champions if they're hitting other champions.
Right. Then you have minion spawns.
Exactly. It's all over the place. But in that moment, I thought the Nexus was gonna not drop. I thought it was gonna be another Cloud9 situation.
Yeah, that would be tragic if that happened again.
No idea what you're talking about, but I do think we need a breakdown on that, so everyone will be looking forward to the Nexus breakdown. Now, we have another interview, so let's send it back over to Avli and the FlyQuest Academy, AD Carry and Coach.
Thanks, guys. I am here with Coach Invert and Erry. Both of you guys, congratulations on that match. Coach, any words for your team?
Just congrats. I'm glad that, we kept our mental from semifinals with all those crazy comebacks and got to, continue that onto this series. I'm really glad to see how resilient the guys are, especially the 3 rookies, given, they don't have as much stage time, and they're not as ready for these kinds of situations as people like Shrimp and people like Keane. So I'm proud of everyone for pulling through in those situations. And I'm proud of Shrimp and Keane as well for kind of steering them in that direction.
And speaking to the rookies, you guys had all 3 of you guys come over from University of Toronto. What does it mean for you as a rookie to come into this split and win the whole thing?
It means a lot. I don't know what to say because I still feel like we have to go in there and prepare for next game.
Well, tell me about how bot lane went from your perspective, because, I mean, at some points it looked like it was a battle for Caitlyn, and then they brought out the Draven. So what did you think of it?
When they pulled out the Draven, I thought we would just stomp them in bot lane because we were actually winning bot lane. But then once he got first kill, we just got rolled over. And yeah, I think Caitlyn's OP.
She did win you guys games. Looking at the team as a whole, and oh my gosh, I'm forgetting who, but your University of Toronto boys, excuse me, JayJ, coming in as a college team into academy. How did that help with the integration coming into a new org?
It helped. I think college actually helped us to get into academy. Without like those international experience from college, I don't think FlyQuest would have picked us up.
Yeah, I was also going to say, too, that there's a couple of interesting things, like going from collegiate to kind of academy or LCS or wherever. There are a couple big benefits. One is I think players are more well-equipped to like live away from home. I think that's really important and kind of master everyday life here in Santa Monica. But I think the second big thing is, you know, these guys are as good as they are playing while at university. And, you know, they showed today, at the very least, that they can contend with the best when they don't have university as a second thing that they have to do, and now they're full-time in this. So don't sleep on the college kids, basically.
That being said, Erry, does it look like you're going to complete the full path to pro, college to academy to the LCS?
I'm not going back to college.
Wrong direction, buddy. Are you going towards the LCS? What do you have your sights set on?
Going towards the LCS.
Going towards the LCS. Well, I wish you the best of luck with it, and congratulations again on your victory.
Thank you.
Back to the desk.
Well, there you have it. It seems that staying in school leads to good League of Legends things, so stay in school. I think that'd be a good idea. Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you guys not say yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's why I'm not great at League of Legends.
Oh, okay, there you go. Well, you're better than me.
Did you stay in school?
I did.
Oh, see?
So we need to work that out. So a lot of players did show their A game today in order to secure the Academy Championship, but one player stood out to earn Player of the Series, and today that award goes to Shrimp. Shrimp was able to crush it down basically every game, back and forth to help people out. There were a few mishaps here, but really he was able to help the team come together to get that big W.
Yeah, I definitely think he came in and generated a lot of leads for his teams in the wins. Almost every single game that they won, the early game was dominated by him. And even as the game went on, he won plenty of 50-50 smite wars, and he just had
Those are big.
Really big impact on the games.
Yeah, he had a lot of high jungle proximity too that you can see at the bottom of the screen there. That means that he's spending a lot of time being around his lanes and his laners and making things happen. And I think that it was really big for him in particular because Keane, except for the 5th game, was really kind of, I would say, performing at a neutral level and actually being in deficits.
Right.
So Shrimp had to pick up some of the slack and kind of enable Keane and kind of make up for that. And he really did keep OddOrange down. But also another shout out to Erry.
Absolutely. That's what I
played
was going to say next.
a fantastic first 2 games. And then his 5th game was also really, really good.
Give a little bit of stress on the stage, you can kind of work it off and play like that. What do you see for those guys in the future, kind of the members of the collegiate organization now moving up into academy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy for them. It turns out, like, you know, they did pretty well. I always like that story of, like, you know, people sticking together for a long period of time and working through the problem. So, you know, I'm glad they did good, and it looks like they improved a lot from moving from collegiate to here, and hopefully, you know, there's a lot more to come.
Heck yeah, wins got to feel good there for FlyQuest. And with that, we can say goodbye to the Academy League until summer split, but there's more League of Legends coming right up. Not right up, but coming up. The NALCS returns tomorrow with our first semifinal matchup between Echo Fox and Team Liquid. And then 100 Thieves face off against Clutch Gaming on Sunday. Gentlemen, let's take a look at these matchups for a second. Echo Fox, Team Liquid first. We just saw a Fox kind of sibling play. What are we thinking actually about that matchup, though? Double's actually been coming in pretty strong. Team Liquid are looking great here as they enter in the end of the season now.
Yep, and you don't know what Fox is going to look like.
You don't.
It might be Phoenix and Adrian back on the roster there, and we haven't seen them since week 8. And Alltech and Adrian were looking like kind of pain points for Echo Fox up against, like you said, TL that can play through the bottom lane there. But you got to look at Impact and Huni, because Impact up against C9 in their quarterfinal, they like triple banned him at one game. He got Swain in a few of those games. He looked completely fine and showed that he's versatile. Up against Huni, who tries to find any advantage he can up against the enemy top laner. We'll see what the SKT top laners can do against each other.
Golden Glow, I want to hit you for Clutch 100 Thieves. What are you thinking? That's going to be a spicy matchup.
I think it'll be definitely spicy. You know, Clutch really, you know, surprised everyone with their win versus TSM.
Absolutely.
And, you know, 100 Thieves got to, like, watch their games. They got to see Hakuho just destroy kids on Thresh. So, yeah, but Afromu is also a Thresh player. So, like, I think it'll be really exciting to support matchup that game. And I think that's probably what I have my eyes focused on in that set.
Awesome.
Everyone else across the board on both teams, all solid players, all good players. I don't know who I'd be leaning towards. They both look pretty solid, and 100 Thieves has more information on Clutch, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the cool thing about that matchup is that, at least in my mind, is the supports. I'm really hyped for that support matchup, and I don't think I've been that hyped for a support matchup in a very long time.
Yeah, it was the last time you said that.
Exactly, right? And then you look across the Rift at all the ways that they actually pair up against each other. It actually feels like Clutch and 100 Thieves are incredibly similar, where it's like tank top laner that's going to play a control style. The jungler, both Meteos and Lyra, play to control the enemy jungler. The mid laner's going to play wave clear and, kind of play a pivot game most of the time. And then it's like late game AD carry, and then you have playmaking support. So these teams actually match up against each other very well. It's just who's pound for pound playing better on that
I do love the story because it's also two kind of building organizations with very veteran players around the board, but they're all now gelling together in a much different way. It's going to be awesome, and that's over the next 2 days. We also have a little something for you extra for you guys on Sunday. Be sure to check out the NA Civil War after the show. That is our show for today, however, but if you want more League of Legends right now, coming up is a rebroadcast of this morning's EU LCS semifinals between Splyce and G2, ahead of their live broadcast of Fnatic and Vitality tomorrow at 8 a.m. Pacific. Don't miss it. Congratulations once again to our Academy League champions, FlyQuest Academy. Now for myself, Zyrene, Golden Glue, and the entire Academy crew, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in summer for more Academy League action.
Nobody thought it would happen.
Are you kidding me, Riv? They come back after having all three in
FOXA Academy 3-1. Punch that sought-after ticket to the finals.
Whoa, actually gonna get spotted, stunned over. Shrimp finds the first blood. That pesky ward kills OddOrange. I can't get in.
I slip.
Okay. Look here.
Well, Nami.
Yeah.
Sage.
Nice. Lost in him's about to go down. Shockwave. Oh, two. Demolishes lost in the ulti. PapaChau actually going to get the root. No, going to land it onto Lost. Dodging out of the way. The knocker from Allorim is going to try and save his marksman. Still not enough as Erry finds a shot in the brush and takes him down. Oh, they found Erry. That's a great pick forward. Damonte lives forward, grabs a shutdown.
I can't hear it. I feel so bad. You guys are all listening to nice music except for me.
Did you try the other one?
I'm so relaxed.
Does finally finish off Shrimp. Dravenol finding a bit of damage. He snipes JayJ. I can look more.
Yeah, go more.
Nice job. Allorim going in, looks to tie up Shrimp. Johnson is flashing in, he takes down Erry. He's just such a monster right now. TP finally lands, but Allorim flash talk in onto Erry. It's a massacre under the turret, a massive dive. Look at Shrimp. Good Skarner. Go slow. Fine. Alright, bad. Redemption is down. They're gonna try and find it to go in, but he can't get it. Shrimp able to find the smite. They have to zone Shrimp out. OddOrange, the barrier goes down. FOXA able to get it. Actually, Damonte walled off, staging it again with the black shield. It's nice. OddOrange finally goes down. No goes down, but Shrimp, he might be able to save the game. Oh my God.